My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Iratus, Lord of the Dead. And we're going for where on the next skill tree? Down destruction line. No, this one actually does make a little sense. Ultimate abilities of minions cost 10 Wrath less. The only reason for that is Neo actually has an ability that can be useful in sudden reality here. We just purge all of the enemies of their buffs. That can be pretty important. And we'd be able to do that for 30, and Carl would be able to use Abyssal Hunger for 50. I don't think that's necessarily a particularly big increase in viability for us. I think we're probably better served. The circles, obviously, just being persistent things. The spells being the squares. Yeah, I think we're probably better served by actually just going down and getting Blood Curse now. So I'll take Sorrow, which is a spell that just deals stress damage to a target, which is actually super useful for us. I'll also take Haste, because they're both prerequisites for Blood Curse. But still super useful. Excuse me. Yikes. The throat that won't clear. There we go. That's more of a normal tone for me. Let's unlock excavation stuff now, I think. And a zombie is probably the least overlap we have. But then I'll also make a bone golem to actually hold the position, because then that's a very quick upgrade later. Although I could have held it with a lich. Oops. Alright, back to the dungeoneering. Off to the left, I think, yeah, we just have a standard battle. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's firefighters. Yeah. The next battle that I'm really going to want to scout is the elite squad, I think. Let's go out. I'm still pretty sure this can kill the bosses. Or rather, I'm increasingly certain that this can kill the bosses. The more damage we give Commander Kronos and Serpent Frog, the far more likely I think it will be overall, though. Alright. Second up, despite the fact it does nothing here. God damn it, voice.
This is my kind of entertainment.
Despite the fact it does nothing here. What does nothing? Wild as hell. Very glad my voice is now cooperating again. I don't know why that's happening.
Just a fraction of my power.
Just a strange thing. I'm hoping it's not a flu coming on. I've been liking the pace of the channel at the moment. Completely unsustainable pace at the moment, but I've been liking the pace of the channel at the moment. How does everyone feel about 2 Iratus a day? I feel like it's the right amount. I do. I don't want to only be doing Iratus, but I do want to make sure that I really hit the ground with it.
Become part of the breathless tide.
Because I think this game is incredible. I think it's like, it's basically early, like, I don't know how many of you had experience with the early access phase of Darkest Dungeon, but this is like pre-Hounds update Darkest Dungeon to me, which is like, there's a lot here I can see, like the mechanical flavoring, like a lot of the different interacting systems really, really make a lot of sense to me, and they're really intriguing and really interesting and really compelling. But there are a few mechanics that still need to be retuned and still need to be refined, which the Hound update for, although it was controversial at the time, the Hound update for Darkest Dungeon addressed a lot of things that ultimately became strengths of the game later on. In my opinion, some people didn't particularly like stuff that happens with corpses, but I actually thought it was a compelling extra level of gameplay. That's a final upgrade for this main party. Hell yeah. Still nothing to do in the graveyard, right? Just making absolutely certain. Does one of these just show? No. If one of these showed me how many Architect Souls I have, that would be useful, because, like, 15 ectoplasm doesn't matter at all to me. Like, because you're not telling... Excuse me, you're not telling me the skills of those ectoplasms. However, I do have to open the graveyard to look at my Architect Souls. Feels like that could actually be here in the top bar. Okay. So we might want to consider now, do I craft a second team exactly the same as this? Or do I wait until it's needed to craft that party? Crafting it sooner rather than later has the benefit of making sure that I have the parts for that party, because obviously I'm crafting it earlier. So I don't have to do it under pressure. Dun, 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 dun. But crafting it at the time makes sure that it's not a waste of parts. Alright, flamethrower, move forward, please. Ooh, please do, please do. Yeah! Alright, we get to dispel 2 stances in the next... 3 stances in the next turn, excuse me, actually. Wait, what? I'm about to move the flamethrower to the front of the party. Oh, right, yeah. Every time one of the targets gets hit by Kyle, that is telling the trader, hey, someone just got directly targeted, so buff them. And then Kyle's hitting them again. The chain only ended because the ward was there, but that could have been really good. Because the trader buffs a target in response to it taking damage, and the Dark Knight damages a target in response to it being buffed.
Shatter their morale.
Now, unfortunately, the trader considers the traps to be things that are valuable single target damage, which is why that kept chaining there. Oh well, it's fine. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to move the hammer out of their stance anymore because they are in the front position. There's nowhere to move them. So I'm just going to try and get them down in time. Neat. Prevented their entire turn. Unless they crit, it probably wasn't going to be too bad for me anyway. Yeah, let's just immediately dive into another dungeon. There's no way we have the resources to do anything else. Woo! When buffed, +2 initiative for 2 turns, stacks up to 3 times. That's pretty good. We can trigger when buffed pretty easily. When buffed, +3. No, that doesn't matter. When starting in turn 2, extra accuracy. No, that doesn't matter as much as the Ears Necklace.
For my future kingdom.
So this one is when striking a critical hit, start healing. However, if I start my turn in the first position, I gain luck for 3 turns, which is a buff, which I think then triggers the Ears Necklace for +2 initiative for 2 turns. So I think this is just going to mean that Kyle is going to be so fast. Absolute speed demon. After the first round or 2, though. Yeah, again, this is a completely fine party to be facing. Start with one in the position of the Elite Hammer here. It feels like placing down the trap in the second line first is more important. Just because the trap in the second line has the ability to kill the second liner instantly, and then the third liner instantly as they move into it, and then the fourth liner, right? So you're, you know, it's a 4% of a 4% of a 4%, but it's a thing that you can look at. Ooh, didn't even manage to push him out of position. Lovely. That said, if an enemy has ward, does the 5% chance to insta-kill them still happen from the trap? Or is the entire thing blocked, which means it doesn't roll that 5% chance? Is that internal or external of the actual damage of the effect of the attack? That's kind of what I'm asking. I guess things that are blocked by ward or block in this game don't trigger their other effects because they don't, like, stun you or they don't move you. So it would make sense as to why it doesn't do anything. Or rather, why it doesn't look like it's about to insta-kill them. So then I probably should have put the first Toxic Cloud in the third position in this fight. So it's in the second or third position. Second is prioritized unless the second position has wards, then the third. I think is the set of best practices I'm setting up for that for myself. Or some standard operating practices at the very least to rely on.
Become
Hey,
part of the
got him.
breathless tide.
Get got.
Good.
Well,
More materials.
still pleased to see you move yourself backwards and then just instantly die.
This easy.
Woo. Yeah, I do have the extra initiative as well, by the way. So Kyle is now, 16 initiative. That's so cool. Kyle becomes an absolute speed demon.
Terror will overflow.
Can we not crit Kyle, please? Thank you. You're more than welcome to attack through Kyle. Just don't crit Kyle. Also, bolstering Vapor plus 50% to the damage is actually really bad. I do want to remove it. Yeah, I will, actually. I'm going to remove it with Consume Hopes and buff all of my allies instead. Plus attack and dread. Neat. Unfortunately, now I'm just short of being able to use Dark Greed. That's so sad. Oh, that would have been so much HP for us. I think... Don't crit. Damn it! Alright, now we actually do need to try and hold off and do a heal and now that kind of stuff. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to, though.
Extinction of life.
Okay. Dark Knight, soon in the next round, please. I mean, you have the highest initiative, so sure. There we go. Then Drain. And we get to end the fight before the Benevolent Spirit attack actually goes off.
Mop up the gore. I'd hate to see plants using it as fertilizer.
And of course, everyone's back on full HP by the very end. Love it. Anything in the talent? Well, there should be something in the talent tree that I want to unlock at this point.
With knowledge and will.
Getting close to that blood curse. The graveyard is... I mean, I could get another position in the Abode of Wrath, but I think the next thing I focus is the excavation, then the Abode of Wrath. How are you going out here? Ooh, level 6 already. Wild. I'm going to throw the other Lich in now, just in case. Just in case. Nothing else I want to do on this layer. Sweet. Let's go. I want to get the second boss down this episode. And I do believe in this party. I am going to be going with it. I won't scout the boss because I have encountered this boss before. I will scout the elite fight in the next combat, though. So our extra spells so far. Haste. All lit minions gain +2 initiative for 2 actions. Whip. Moves the selected minion 2 positions forward. Selected minion specifically, by the way. A Bride of Iratus will additionally gain +25 accuracy for an action. And Fate. The target's next attack is guaranteed to be critical. They're neat. They're fine. Not really too much to say about any of them there.
Just a fraction of my...
The one I'm most likely to use is Sorrow for +20 stress damage to target. And that would just be to either have a trigger of checking whether a target dies to their heart attack, or to set them to 0 so that something else can possibly trigger that, right? Not really going to be using things over the course of a fight, especially because I don't have mana as a resource. I've specifically avoided getting any. Yeah, I'll put the flamethrower in the front of the party. Oh, right now, pulling the Mitsu when there are 3 in the field doesn't move the second one forward at all. Oddly. It moves the back one forward 2 positions. The front one doesn't move at all, but gets the credit for having moved, I think, for some reason. It is weird.
This is my...
Some part of the shuffling mechanics may be why this build is so powerful, and it may just get fixed. In fact, I suspect that is the case. See, like, this is me with full investment in getting extra parts. That's like 1 extra minion at the end of a battle. Yeah, I guess maybe 2. That's my full investment in getting parts. I don't know if that's paying off as much as I would like it to. Okay, so garbage minion. Sorry, Ghoul, but you know it.
Remember to not drool over their body parts.
Ooh! Wait a second. What amulet am I using at the moment? Oh, I'm using the Amulet of Perfection. It's really good. Oh, I kind of still want to keep it. It's mostly magical damage in this boss fight anyway, and in the next boss fight. So what I was going to do is sacrifice a Bone Golem, and the Bone Golem was going to give me a amulet that was effectively all minions, that's just our minions, right? So our team, have +3 armor until the end of battle, which is super, super useful, especially early on. I don't think it's useful for us anymore at this point. So what do I sacrifice is the question then. I think next floor, maybe I would use the Bone Golem stuff. Just not this floor. Just not against magical damage type enemies. The magical damage type enemy. Alright, I'm just gonna drag you out of there, put you in here. Beautiful. Alright, there's our scout, and here's our sack. So we sacrificed the Bone Golem, in case you were wondering what I was talking about. So, Bone Golem got sacked. I got a skull, bone, skull. You can see how these are related to the parts that made the Bone Golem, right? And I also got Ribcage armor. Minions gain +3 armor until the battle ends. And that's unique to sacrificing the Bone Golem there. Okay. Oh, we're fine. We're fine. There's nothing. We don't even have to look at the rest of them. This party is specifically crafted to deal with parties like that. It's fine. Okay. We're about to get the ability to start making vampires as well, by the way. That's going to be exciting. It's going to be good fun. Huh? No. Some part of me is always hoping that it's going to be the insta-kill on a whole 3 members of the enemy party at the start of each combat, but never is. So disappointed. Can't believe I couldn't get my probably 1 in a million kind of chance. You managed to hit those 2 debuffs. Deal some damage as well. Ah, damn it, you pushed him out of position. That's exactly what I didn't want. Just not depositioning him. That whole stance thing needs to hold.
Maybe I'll craft this.
Ooh, there's an insta-kill for us. Perfect insta-kill as well, because it moves everyone forward 1 space after the resolution of everything. Second insta-kill. Okay, never mind. I'm never complaining about never getting insta-kills ever again, because I get them all of the time. Carl probably should have used Dark Greed there, but I'm trying to end this fight really, really quickly.
This one voided its bowels just as it died.
So I'm gonna sorrow for the possible kill though. I didn't need to, but I did want to. Mimir. That's really good if I have a team that I need to level up. It is an artifact. After use, all minions that survive gain an additional 2 experience. Not necessary for us. Right, there's the Blood Curse level up.
The very foundations of this world.
Now we can definitely expand the excavation, so time to get another Bone Golem. And then a Lost Soul, right? Yeah, because I sacked my last Lost Soul.
Every skeleton dreams to become this when they grow up.
Yeah. And again, the Lost Souls so that I have the ability to just throw them in the Abode of Wrath later. Think we're just all set. I think it's just straight into the boss fight. One of the chief sponsors of the mining complex beneath the human castle. He thus bears a great deal of responsibility for freeing Iratus from his eternal prison. Not that anyone would anyone would dare remind him of the fact, since his keen mind has been deemed invaluable by the Alchemist's Guild. After all, few can actually calculate the precise amount of explosive power needed to clear a tunnel without causing a cave-in. But now he is personally forced to try and salvage this venture. He has turned his great intellect to far more warlike pursuits. So, the boss doesn't escape. Do I need to care? Nope. Just gonna drop a giant stress cloud on you. Now, unfortunately, Face the Faceless can't hit the backlines. That is the worst part of this so far. Depositioning the Inventor is really important here. So I think... I don't really care about Dash Tobes, do I? No. I think I'm going to have Carl wait until the end of the turn and then have the Inventor pulled forward earlier. It's still important to try and pull the boss through the clouds as well, by the way. Thanks. I just get one of those crit offs. But them moving is really, really helpful for that as well. 71 crit? Yeah, Carl is... It's really important Carl is using Face the Faceless here because it's so damn powerful. Carl just has such good stats right now. Yeah, so the Inventor is now on half HP for their stress. The machines, by the way, do carry the 4% chance to just instantly die. So there we lost a machine. Although that's not what you plan around for doing this combat. And if it is what you plan around, then... Whew, gosh, help you. Ooh, I love that you moved yourself back on the cloud as well. Those crits are the worst part of this fight overall. Like, seriously, it's just that. Yeah, you can heal him up a little bit. You can buff him until Doomsday. He's got so many buffs. I could remove all of those buffs right now and give my whole party so much. That said, moving him is way more valuable, so still, that's what I'm going to be doing. But, oh, so much could be removed. Ooh, come on. Bunch of triggers.
Life vanishes from this.
We've now got you to quote-unquote death's door. You're ready for your heart attack. Let me serve it up with a sorrow.
Extinguish hope.
Lovely. And that's why I thought that this party was going to be able to take out that boss, because it is. And it did. Yeah, no need to change anything else at this point. Talents. Destroy the chosen enemy. Bosses are immune. I mean, that actually seems pretty good. Just the ability to go into an elite fight and go, yeah, this one, no. No to this one. So I think I will unlock Finger of Death. After which I may look at Blood Magic. If Iratus has 100 Wrath, all spells cost 10 mana less. And then try and find myself another useful spell. Infectious Lunacy is a useful spell this floor actually as well. Forces a sanity check on a target with a 50% increased chance of causing insanity. We also have Shackles of War, so they can't become inspired. So it's effectively just choose a target, they become insane. Ignores Ward as well. As the dwarves fell to the onslaught of the Walking Dead, news of the crisis started to spread far and wide. The human kingdom was rich and willing to pay gold uncountable to whomever could manage to bring them the head of the newly awakened necromancer. They would all gather here, in these barracks, cunning rogues and learned mages, knights and elven archers, all following the siren call of coin. They knew not the true scope of the danger that awaited them. In the end, they were just lambs gathering before the butcher. Okay, our paths here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Won't be able to go down, so 5s. Oh, that cuts so much of the map out. That's really bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, yikes. A lot of these, yeah, these paths are just really bad so far. So if I get to this point, what is the longest way to get there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like traversal algorithms that I should just remember for this kind of stuff from university a bit. I don't. I apologize. Not at the moment, at the very least. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to get there versus... Wait, was I counting you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I wasn't. I wasn't counting the destination. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Okay, so a shorter path there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so effectively we just have to decide which path has better rewards, right? This one has a sacrificial altar, an ancient coffin, a chest, a steely, and a quest. And another steely as well. Oh my god. Yeah, that's the path. That's the path. 100% unassailably, that's the path. 2 super early steelies in the same path? Yes. Alright. Feature. Deals additional damage depending on the amount of vigor that the target has lost. Okay. So we've also got Blood Curse, which we will start trying to use. Maybe every battle? I don't know. We'll see. Ability Sneak. Let's have a look at that in just a moment. Receives plus 33 evasion, deals 150% damage to a random ally. Random minion if ally missed, and the effect doesn't dispel. It's fine, so it's kind of like a stance that can't be removed, I guess. I'm only going to worry about the Blood Curse at the end of the battle. When I'm just toying with a final minion, I can curse them. I don't like that we're missing with Neo at the moment. Although, plus 33% accuracy. Wait, hang on. The target I managed to move was the one with the plus accuracy. Wild. Yeah, these enemies have 27% evasion already. Thanks. Yeah, I think I need to probably invest a little bit more in accuracy in terms of the parts that I'm giving characters right now, because it's just Kyle with good accuracy. At least the allies aren't missing, because that would be really good for this rogue. Although I do have to say, I absolutely love that they can't really afford to do anything to me. It's perfect. One of these clouds has disappeared, but that's okay. It seems like the final one is going to be enough. Oh. One more trigger. There we go. Now 2 more. There we go.
You will be worth something in death.
Now, unfortunately, because of that chain at the very end there, we didn't have the ability to use the Blood's Curse. We'll be able to show that later on. Don't worry, it's fine. This is just extra parts for having extra vigor on my enemies, but does vigor on my enemies matter to me at all? That's a harsh no right there. Whenever you gather a large enough group of sweaty males, all manner of prostitutes and courtesans are not far behind. What mortals don't know is these groups often serve a wonderful mask for particularly carnal vampire covens. However, the vampires are a rather unique undead, and simply becoming a necromancer will not make them swear fealty to you. They're selfish, and so need something truly captivating to motivate them into abandoning their debaucherous lifestyle. There we go. You will parley with the coven in person. I can begin diplomacy. I can starve them out by killing their food source, or I can abandon the pursuit. So if I begin diplomacy, I probably, like, best case scenario... Also, this is just mushrooms. What? How is this relevant? If I begin diplomacy, I probably, like, best case scenario, I end up with a vampire. I don't want that. I could make him myself. So I'm going to starve them out. Fighting them is just... I'm just fighting them for rewards, effectively. Okay. This looks like a half elite squad that we're fighting. And no vampires as well, by the way? Not useful. Yeah. The enemy's doing a lot of depositioning is still... It's happening a little on this floor, and I'm a little concerned about it, I'll admit. Please, no one knock the Dark Knight out of their stance. Although, thank you for graciously waiting while I set up my whole build. We got basically all of our turns in action now. Sorry, in a row. While the enemies might be good at depositioning me, they also really... stole my mana. They also deposition themselves constantly, so it's fine. I think it's actually kind of averaging out overall. So your buff from Spell Thief was +10 to accuracy, luck, and evasion. Alright, fine. That's 3 clouds up at the same time that I get to pull the enemies through here. Lovely. Also, the feature here is, yeah, Vigor, negative 30% chance to escape and a negative 30% chance of insanity, so we do want to deal with that crossbowman.
This is what 1,000
manually.
years of evolution looks like. Pathetic.
Come on, crossbowman, I need you to die. And then I also need the tank not to.
First mistake. Opposing me?
Ooh, yeah, the tank wants to escape. Beautiful. Okay, yeah, if they escape, we receive a vampire for winning the battle. So there's the debuff. I'll have all of my minions wait until after her turn. She escapes, and in the reward screen, I get a vampire. Ta-da! You have to do that 3 times, and then you will unlock the vampires. You much prefer action over words, and there's certainly ways of making a vampire submit that do not involve talking with them. After you systematically slaughter the mortal thralls, their mortal thralls rather, the coven is left without a source of food. Of course, we were killing the food, that makes sense. Food that now only you can provide to them. Cursing your name, they are forced to join your cause. So they're probably both going to get thrown in there, definitely. You can get thrown in there. Actually, no, hang on. You'll come out, you'll upgrade this, the higher level character goes in there, and then beautiful, all that whole tactical level really working out for us. Yeah, the obelisk seems like a trap to me. Maybe there's a build that utilizes the obelisk correctly, like it goes for obelisk and like an Iratus statue really early, and you just cast a bunch of spells and stuff like that. Maybe there's a completely different statue, completely different build that works with it, but it's not to me. It's not going on for me. Okay. I should now probably have another look at upgrading my minions equipment. I can get 1 upgraded bones, like mega upgraded bones. That's pretty good.
Ah, the smell of successful alchemy.
1 down. Don't need any more armor. Do need more skulls. Do I need more dust? Yeah, I need 2 more dust. Actually, unless I want to throw this dust on someone. I have a lot of excess dust. I can craft probably 1 more epic dust. Or rather, rare dust. Legendary dust?
Skeleton will clean up this mess later.
Yeah, it's legendary in the nomenclature of the game. Playing so many different roguelikes, like, the levels of rarity of something change in every single game. Like, oh, uncommon, common, rare, epic, legendary. Is rare the legendary in this game? Is rare the highest, or is rare the lowest that you get above common? It's just, Alright. They all have dread attached to them. That's really good. So we'll do the resistance, evasion, dread for the second liner, maybe? Actually, the second liner has worse luck. Sorry, it has worse accuracy. And has more luck. So yeah, you get this dust then. And you get... not that one. This one. There we go. Okay, so bones and skulls. I can probably make 2 high-level skulls and a high-level bone. And also rags. Also need more of those upgraded. Fine.
Skeleton will clean up this mess later.
If we get the right assortment of stats on those items, like, I really don't think this party will die. Attack, dread, and vigor. There's also luck, dread, and block. That's incredible. That's incredible. That goes on Commander Kronos here in the second line. You now have a 40% crit chance. That's so damn good. It's too damn good, in fact. No more bones, but I can still get skulls. And actually, can I make a... Yeah, I can make a high-level Ecto as well. Can't make another high-level rags, but I don't know if I want to give these to Neo. I don't know if I want to settle for them. Actually, I can make exactly one more high-level rag. It's 8 to make one.
It's no gold.
Let's actually go over to the legendary now, and it is block, dread, and vigor. Beautiful. That's exactly what we wanted. So we actually did manage to get something useful there. All right, go for the skulls as well.
Skeleton will clean up this mess later.
I have the ability to get a second legendary skull here, so I will. I'm actually only missing 2 skulls from my party at the moment as well.
Successful alchemy.
Oh, it shouldn't have continued crafting there at the very end. That's my bad. Okay. Down to the skulls. Dread resistance attack. Eh. There's also resistance armor and accuracy. I think the accuracy needs to go on Neo right now. And then I think that only leaves Serpent Frog to take the skull, so sorry, bud. Okay. Ecto.
Behold my work.
So next thing to check.
The smell of
that is enough to make 2 high-level Ectos as well. We could fully stock out the Lost Soul here. Extra accuracy, armor, and initiative, and extra ward, accuracy, and luck. Yeah, Neo will now never miss another hit, and this is really important. Those stat increases there were absolutely insane. So the final thing we need is just extra bones. Can I actually go for that right now with transmutation to make bones? So I make bones out of skulls, and I don't have excess skulls right now. And I make skulls out of dust, and I don't have much excess dust right now. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do this. We don't need to get that final upgrade on the piece of equipment there for Serpent Frog right now. All right, back into the dungeon. Second battle. Nothing else in the graveyard, right? Second battle. Take it. Except for the fact that there's something we should do in the talent tree. There's always something extra to manage out here. Veteran Commander makes no sense right now. Marks an enemy until battle ends. If the targeted minion is killed, Iratus gains 3 common parts after the battle. I do like that as well, actually. I'm gonna take Finger of Death, then Blood Magic, then Rain of Gore. And especially because we're getting these 2 Steelies early. One over here and then one here. There's not another one on the floor, but because we're getting both of those super early, we should be able to get all of that before we actually finish off the floor. I would not be entirely surprised if the next episode was the Pyromancer boss fight. Okay. Our stat increases in just that previous 10 minutes is going to be absolutely insane. You'll see how impactful it is for us. I mean, look at all this block and ward. Like, no one's even hitting us for ages. Unless they crit, mind. And then we crit with a ridiculous amount of our attacks. And now they actually deal much more significant damage right now, rather than relying on how many times they trigger to have a good effect. Yikes. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the whole... that ridiculous stealth. What is your evasion actually right now? I don't want to know. It's 60%. And I have 125. Okay, so my understanding is it does work like Darkest Dungeon in that, like, my 125 minus their 60 gives me my chance to hit. So, 75, right? 65? I think it's 65. Damn it! Stop missing! So much of the effect is mitigated if I'm only pulling one person. Debuff is, well, losing all evasion. All right, yeah, whatever. My giant tank in plated armor is not going to be able to evade nimbly. Such a shame. Oh, God, do we have to have a second one? At least you moved and made the other one insane. Just immediately take away more sanity than you gained. Love it. Hey, I got both of them. That was a risky one to take, but it is the one that has the ability to end the fight. And looks like it will. Ooh, yeah, no vampire for me.
A sad display of mortal kind.
Those chains, unfortunately, leave us bereft of vampires. Okay, so I need 26 more. So throwing away a bone golem so far. Throwing away a ghoul is the one that gives you the fork, that gives you 10% more parts from enemies. And I do like that, but I don't like that more than I like the Amulet of Perfection, nor more than I like the Ribcage armor. I don't know. Let's just sacrifice one of the new units that we've unlocked so that we can actually have a look at what they get.
Welcome to the winning side.
All right, Fallen Dampier, get sacked. Fortune Magnet. Minions and enemies gain 15 luck until the battle ends. Iratus also gets a additional 15% chance to find a consumable after battle. It's fine, I guess. Extra accuracy every 3 turns, kind of useful. +1 ward is not useful though. Yeah, there's no reason to change those onto anyone. Actually, Commander Kronos, do you want it? Yeah, I'll just give you a blood diamond to give you a little bit of block there. Seems useful. All right, Steely, I'm coming for you. Make way. Ah, damn it. Just realized how long the episode is. Yeah, just a bunch of very, very brave enemies here that don't want to run away on their features. For unlocking the Fallen Dampier, on certain fights on this floor, we will see enemies that are Fallen Dampiers, and their feature, this is this little star below them, will give us information on how to actually unlock them, make them join our squad instead. It's just have them be the last member on the field and have them become insane, and then they instantly get collected. It's not on escape, it's on just turning insane. Alright. Impotent first turns here from the enemies.
Carve open their hearts.
And really, we're not going to use Sanity Abroad? Nope, there we are. I knew they were coming. Just had to be a little more patient than I was. So it's very likely the Shield Maiden stays at the end of this combat, and then I will pop the Blood Curse onto her. One down yet? There we go. One down. That'll probably chain to kill the other two.
One more for the stock.
Beautiful.
crimson hunger.
Now, unfortunately, I do have to wait for the enemy to actually run away. They've only got a 9% chance to do it right now. The effect is directly related to their insanity, but... I can't really do anything about that. I can't make an enemy want to run away with this build. I definitely don't want to use Consume Hopes. Yikes. Consume Hopes would have removed all buffs and all debuffs from the enemy. Importantly, removing all debuffs would have removed, I believe, Blood Curse. I'm not certain it removes Blood Curse, but it should. Right, it's the only thing that really makes sense there. I'm going to gain some mana here. Stall this fight for a while? Sure. Okay. Just change the ordering again. Come on, Shieldbane. You need to escape. Escape. Yeah. You're not doing it. Whatever. Die. 133 on a crit. That's a pretty good kill right there. I'm not going to spend 1 billion years trying to farm that out at the end of an episode. Are you kidding me? Especially considering I don't actually need the vampires. For the moment, though, let's go over to the Aya tree, unlock the blood magic we were going for. Say, hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and also say that hopefully we'll see you next time.